Welcome to this explainer. If you're a product leader, an AI transformation lead, or a COO, you really need to hear this. We're diving straight into a massive operational bottleneck revealed in a recent Anthropic study called Coding Agents in the Social Sciences. Let's get right into it. Anthropic surveyed over 1,200 analytical professionals, and what they found is honestly pretty wild. A massive 81% of them have actually tried using AI models to help out with their daily research. So the awareness, it's absolutely there. The willingness of your teams to experiment is a given at this point. But here's the absolute shocker. Only 20% have actually adopted autonomous coding agents into their regular daily workflows. Think about that for a second. That is a gigantic, steep cliff to fall off, going from casual experimentation to actual operational integration. Which brings us to Section 1, the AI adoption gap, or as we should really call it, tech versus operations. Here is the absolute crux of the issue for enterprise leaders. The tech itself is fully capable. It works. The problem is that the operational system around it just doesn't exist yet. Deploying an agent like Claude Code isn't some magic bullet if your enterprise architecture isn't set up to support it. You literally can't just hand a team an incredibly powerful tool and expect your entire production system to seamlessly adapt overnight. And remember, we're talking about highly analytical professionals here, people whose entire day job is working with complex data and code. Even in that highly technical group, we see this massive plunge from casual chatbot experimentation to real operational integration. The takeaway is undeniable. The technology works, but the surrounding operational system is missing. Moving on to Section 2. Let's look at the symptoms of missing systems, specifically focusing on the broken last mile. What's really fascinating is how perfectly these academic findings map onto enterprise realities. In the study, users equipped with AI agents were firing on all cylinders, starting way more projects and posting 75% more working papers. But their final, published journal submissions, completely flat. Translate that to your business. Your teams are kicking off a ton of new projects, building all these flashy internal prototypes, but they are totally failing to cross that finish line and get to actual production deployment. The symptom is painfully clear. AI is phenomenal for local execution and rapid prototyping. It gets projects off the ground like nothing else. But without a rigorous end-to-end review workflow, all that brilliant output just stalls right at the finish line. That last mile is completely broken, simply because there's no system in place to validate and deploy what the AI is producing. That leads us right into Section 3, the operational design gap and the very real problem of uneven adoption. Here's the thing. If you don't intentionally design your AI rollout, adoption naturally clumps together in pockets where resources and technical fluency already exist. The underlying data shows adoption is heavily skewed toward early career juniors, top-tier institutions, and male users. If you don't consciously build a system, the AI concentrates in these existing resource bubbles rather than actually scaling capabilities across your entire organization. Anthropic explicitly notes this inequality in their findings and approves a massive point. Simply dropping AI into an organization without a systemic plan is a recipe for fractured, concentrated pockets of use instead of true enterprise-wide ROI. If you're doing this, you're leaving a huge amount of value on the table. So how do we fix it? Let's get into Section 4, the enterprise playbook to bridge the gap. To fix that broken last mile, product leaders and COOs need to execute 3 very specific operational steps. You have to actively build the operational rails the AI will run on. You need to define exactly what the agent handles, create a solid human-in-the-loop review workflow, and intentionally design an equitable, well-resourced rollout. Take step 1, for example, defining the scope. You have to look at the reality of how these tools are being used. A staggering 97% of users are leveraging agents for hard coding and analytical tasks, while only a third are using them to draft prose. What does that mean for you? It means your operational systems have to be explicitly tailored to review and integrate highly technical analytical outputs, not just text generation. You have to design for operational reality, not the hype. Finally, Section 5. Let's talk about your action this week, the push to production. Take a hard look at your organization right now. Your explicit action item for this week is to identify just one of those stalled AI prototypes and map out the missing human review workflow required to actually push it into production. The technology is completely ready. That 81% awareness, it's already there in your teams. The question is, Will you be the leader who finally builds the operational system to capture all that missing 60% of value?